Hi there, this is Maneesh Vijaya from PM Pulse, and we bring to you yet another power-packed episode from PM Ninja video series. In this particular video series, I'm going to talk about something which is heavily confused. People are seriously confused, in fact, even authors. I've seen books, I've seen videos which have actually explained this terminology quite incorrectly. The terminologies in question are PMO, Project Management Office, versus Program Office. First of all, you need to know that there are different things. They are not the same thing. A lot of people get this feeling that Program Office is just a short version or a different name for PMO, Project Management Office. Not true. Let me take a step back and explain to you what is a program. It's very important for you to understand, because when people don't understand what is a program office, it has also got to do with how do they understand program, right? So there's a lot of misconception about program, the definition itself. The first thing that you need to know about program is program. There's no program which is born as a program. When any program comes into existence, it's because they want, the organization wants, or the program manager, at that point of time, he's not a program manager, but the project manager simply realizes that this project is too big, it's too complex, it's how would I say, very mission critical, it's very closely connected to strategy, and that project manager alone would not be able to handle, plan for, or track the entire project. So what they do is they break it apart. Yes, you've heard me right. They break it apart into smaller projects, logical projects belonging to specific lines of engagement or technology. It doesn't really matter. The breakdown can be any which way, which actually supports the program culture. But the complex project or the large project is broken down. And when it is broken down into multiple projects, it is called a program. So the project manager of a complex project then places himself as a program manager, whereas he's got an army of project managers handling multiple projects. Now, this may not necessarily be done by the project manager himself. It could be done somebody superior to him, somebody like a management council, steering committee, sponsor, or there is a PMO, right? So it doesn't really matter who does it, but please understand, nobody starts as a program. Here's the challenge. You pick up any major program on the planet, whether it is London Olympics, whether it is Japan, Tokyo Olympics, which could not happen because of Corona, whether you talk about Delhi Metro, you talk about any mega program that you've heard of, that you know really exists, you will look into it and you'll find that none of them are actually called or initiated as a program. They're initiated as a project. Like Delhi Metro is called a Delhi Metro project even till date by the government of Delhi. If you look at London, it's called, the Olympics, it's called the London Olympics project. Nobody calls it a program. You need to understand this difference. There is so much of garbage material floating around that people just assume that a program is born as a program. It never happens. It is an answer to a very complex or a very big or a humongous mission critical project which cannot be done by a single group of people. So they break it apart into program. Program is a methodology. It is one of the ways of getting a project done. Once that has been understood by you, if you look at London Olympics, it is such a huge product, such a huge program. It was conducted as a program. They realized that the program manager itself needed a team to make sure that everybody is following the same standards, the same templates, the same way of collecting and disseminating information, the best utilization of resources. There should not be redundancy of resources at different places in the project. All of that could be done through another small group of people or an office. And guess what's the name of this office? Program Office. The London Olympics Program Office. Yeah, you heard me right. That's exactly what it was called. Make sense? But what is the purpose of this office? The purpose of this office is to help the program manager. Program manager himself will become part of this office. One of the main office bearers of program office would be this. But if I ask you this, how long would this program office last? And your answer would be, well, as long as the program lives. That's it. And that's the correct answer because this office was created only for this program. It is not an office which works for multiple programs. Never. It is a program office is only created for a specific program. Now, the other question is, do all of the programs have to have an office? Of course not. Some of the programs are not that big. They are big enough not to be done as a project, but they're not so big that you have to have a program office built into it. Right? So program office is just going to survive as long as the program itself. It takes birth because of a program, and the moment the program ends, the program office finishes for that specific program. So let's come to PMO, Project Management Office. The first thing that you need to know is Project Management Office is only one in an organization. Yes, you heard me correct. That's why I put that dramatic gap in there. Now, here's the thing. A portfolio can be broken down, right? You could have some sub-portfolios, country-wise portfolios, domain-specific portfolios, like steel portfolio, mining portfolio, all those kind of things, right? Shipping portfolio. You could have a broken down portfolio. So I will refine this better. Within a specific portfolio or a sub-portfolio, there's only one PMO. One PMO per portfolio, whether it is the highest level portfolio, if the organization only has one portfolio, that's it. But if the entire organization has been broken down into multiple sub-portfolios, then each of the sub-portfolios would also have one PMO. So one PMO is needed for one portfolio, and that's it. Now, what does it say? A portfolio contains multiple projects, programs taking under it, as well as the operations. So portfolio is the investment, the total of all the investments in an organization. And the only way an organization can make an investment is into projects, programs, and operations. And the PMO actually is going to take care of the entire project's side. Operations part is taken care of by MIS. Now you need to know that PMO is higher than Program Office. PMO is higher than Program Office. PMO is created for the entire projects and programs initiative. Multiple projects and programs will happen under a single PMO, Project Management Office. Whereas if at all a program office is created, it is created for each of the individual programs that you're doing, which itself is under the overall PMO. Hey, is that not very clear to you? Makes sense, right? So the whole thing about project management is very logical, provided we understand it like that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of garbage, a lot of incorrect material floating around. And our job is to ensure that you have the most curated, most well-researched, the most authentic and accurate material if it comes to project management. Remember, PM Pulse, the very pulse of project management. You were watching PM Ninja video series, and this is Maneesh Vijaya from PM Pulse. And in case you find the content of this particular video helpful, go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and like and share it with your team members and your colleagues if you wish to. Thank you for watching.